Hello friends, I am Dr.Chishty and I am teaching physics to BSc second year students. My today's topic is Planck's radiation law. Planck's radiation law. And Planck's radiation law states that the radiation of wavelength from lambda to d lambda emitted per unit volume by a perfectly black body at temperature T is E lambda d lambda is equal to 8 pi hc d lambda upon lambda raised to 5 e raised to power hc upon lambda kt minus 1. This is the Planck's law of radiation. Planck's law of radiation. The statement is the radiation of wavelength from lambda to d lambda emitted per unit volume by a perfectly black body at temperature T is given by this one. Now, as the photon do not interact with themselves, they interact only with the atoms of the walls of cavity, and photons are indistinguishable. These are the assumptions. Photons are indistinguishable and may have the same energy and obey the Bose-Einstein distribution law. And we know that the Bose-Einstein's distribution law is Ni is equal to Gi upon e raised to power alpha plus beta Ei minus 1. This law is known as the Bose-Einstein distribution law. Now we can write this law by separating here the power of E as Gi upon, it can be written as e raised to alpha, e raised to beta I upon kt minus 1, where beta can be taken as 1 upon kt. K is known as the Boltzmann constant and T is the temperature. Here the photon gas differ from the ideal gas, and the total energy remain constant inside the hollow enclosure, and the total number of photons may be completely absorbed by colliding with the walls. For photon gas system, summation of delta Ni is equal to 0. This assumption is not valid. It is not valid. Therefore, delta N is equal to summation of delta Ni is not equal to 0 for the photon gas, because the photon gas is different from the ideal gas. If this condition is not obeyed, then we say that the alpha is equal to 0 in the Bose-Einstein's equation. Alpha is equal to 0. Now, if I substitute here alpha is equal to 0 in the Bose-Einstein's equation, Ni is equal to Gi upon e raised to power Ei by kt minus 1. Now, cavity is large as compared to the wavelength of the radiation, and energy of the spectrum is to be taken as continuous. So we can replace Gi by Ge into De, Gi by Ge into De, and Ni by Ne into De. So here in this equation of the Bose-Einstein equation, for this Ni I will replace it by Ne into De because the spectrum is continuous, and for this Gi I am writing Ge into De. What is Ni? Total number of the particles. What is Gi? Total number of the cells. What is Ei? Ei is the energy. Okay. T is the temperature. K is Boltzmann constant. So I replaced Ni by Ne into De and Gi by Ge into De. But we know that the energy according to the Planck's law is E is equal to h nu. Okay. Therefore, Ge into De will be replaced by G nu into D nu in terms of the frequency, means the number of oscillatory mode in the frequency range nu to nu plus D nu, and the energy range from E to E plus DE. The number of states in black body radiation we can calculate, can be obtained, can be calculated using the spherical volume bounded by the sphere of radius h nu plus d nu by c and h nu by c. These are the radii of the two spheres. So volume of the spherical shell, we know that the volume of the sphere 4 by 3 pi r cube. So if our radius is this one, so we can write here 4 by 3 pi r cube, means this whole cube, h cube by c cube nu plus d nu cube, minus the 4 by 3 pi h cube nu cube upon c cube. If I expand this using the formula of a plus b whole cube and I will subtract this, then I will get 4 pi h cube nu square d nu upon c cube. But phase space has the volume, according to our assumption using the uncertainty principle, as h cube is equal to v. Now the number of states in black body radiation in the frequency range nu to nu plus d nu are given by g of nu into d nu is equal to 2 into 4 pi v upon c cube nu square d nu. Now it is 2 into 4 8, it will become 8 pi v by c cube nu square d nu, where v is the total volume. The number of photons in the range nu to nu plus d nu, number of photons are n of nu is equal to 8 pi v nu square d nu upon c cube into 1 upon e raised to power h nu by kt minus 1. I am substituting this value here in place of g nu d nu. As the photons has the energy E is equal to h nu, the energy density, means energy per unit volume, is given by E nu into d nu, which represents the energy per unit volume, means divided by volume. E nu d nu is equal to h nu into n of nu d nu upon volume. So E nu d nu is equal to, I am substituting here the value of the n of nu, therefore it will become 8 pi h nu square d nu upon c cube upon 1 by e raised to power h nu by kt minus 1. Now this is the Planck's radiation law in terms of the frequency, but we know that the frequency can be replaced by wavelength. Nu is equal to c by lambda, differentiating this, d nu is equal to minus c by lambda square. I will substitute these values in this equation. Now it will become E lambda d lambda is equal to 8 pi h c cube upon c cube lambda c d lambda upon lambda square into 1 by sc by kt minus 1. So our equation in terms of the wavelength become E lambda d lambda is equal to 8 pi sc upon lambda cube into lambda square become lambda raised to 5 d lambda upon e raised to power hc by kt minus 1. This law is known as the Planck's radiation law in terms of the wavelength. Thank you.